I think we're live. Dina's not here yet. She's having trouble. I was trying to get the song up. We have a new song that's going to be available on video shortly. I don't think I can't get it to play. I don't know. Port Charlotte. Hey, David. Nice to meet you. Well, stomping grounds. I'm having a lot of trouble here. Let's see. Get the repeat off. All right, we're good to go, I guess. Ugh. Yes, I do live in Salisbury, Corey. Um, let's see if we can get you a wrench. I think Jenny is in her car driving home. They went to a wedding this weekend, so she's trying to trying to get on futuristic purpose. We have another newbie here. Get you a wrench. Iam, you're welcome for the plants. Um, except you don't have them yet. You won't get them until Thursday or Friday because they go out on Tuesday. Robert Mulder. Hey, Robert. Charles Fitzgerald. Sandra Cron. Who else is here? Jay Malloy. Gary Stein. Rob. Peplin Creek. Hello, hello. Game Czar. Rogerio Lima. Doompie. Chloe. Fish and Things with Lando, Les DL, the Super Sunfish, Game Czar. I'm trying to play the latest song that has been put to video, and I can't get this thing to work. I'm supposed to be able to put it on as a screen, and it ain't working. And I fiddled with it twice and wound up having to drop off, and I just don't want to go through it again. But it's very upsetting. Neil Vittitz, who's a Morningstar Quaid. Cornwall is here. Who else? Rob, Joe O, Gary Stein. We said Gary. What a mob. What a crew. We got, Lord knows how many people here, 77. 77 currently online. Kevin Rudy says, I've set up a resurrection jar with mud, gravel, and moss 2 days ago in a 2-pint jar. That's 1 quart, a quart jar. I have 2 shrimp-like invertebrates. Will the number dwindle as time goes by? It will unless you add nutrients. Now, the mud probably is going to have a lot in it, but you can add a leaf every few days or every week, um, and that will provide adequate nutrients. Sirkan Bey from Turkey, welcome. Welcome, welcome. Tropa RR, hello, Tropa. Let's see if we can get all these new people wrenches. Apple Jacks from Brooklyn, New York. Hello, Apple. Now guess who's here? She made it.
Ollie made it.
You made it. Hello, Apple. Well, guess who's here? I need
He's
to cut the phone.
Ollie made it.
You made it. I have been trying to get this song to come up, and
Yeah.
I cannot get StreamYard to work properly.
Hmm.
It won't do it. You're here now. Let me fiddle with it again.
Okay.
Uh, while you're introducing folks, I'm gonna try this one more time.
Okie dokie. Sounds like a plan. Hey, GameStar. Oh, let me get this switched over where I can see the live chat instead of the top chats.
Store, right? Store, share screen, video, video file. I don't have it as a file.
Hey, the Superfish Sun. Or Super Sunfish. Sorry, I got your name wrong. Hey, Mason Wood. Hope everybody's doing good tonight. I had a little bit of technical difficulty getting on. Never move your computer. When you unplug it, it's a nightmare. Joe O, yep, that's an empty fish tank right now. Been working on redoing this complete room. This was the guest room, and now I have moved all my fish and plant stuff in here. So I probably, hopefully, will have everything set up by Wednesday for the show and tell. That's what I'm hoping. Hi, Rob. How's it going? Hi, Erie. Apple Jacks. That's a cool name. One of my favorite cereals. Morningstar. Hey. The Super Sunfish. That's a pretty cool name. Hi, Futuristic Purpose. I hope everybody's doing good tonight. It's been definitely a chore getting this room set up. I still do not have it set up all the way. I've got my little Gourami. Well, if I can figure out how to point because it reset all of my settings on my computer. I've got my Gourami down there. I just need to refill his tank. Got up in the corner behind me up there the tank that's a 5 gallon. And then behind me is the empty 75 gallon. That thing is the largest tank I've ever had, and I can't wait to set it up. It's going to be awesome.
Well, it doesn't work, and I figured
Aw.
out I can't do it anyway because it's on YouTube, and I got the volume turned off on YouTube, so I don't have an echo. So I can't do it. Not there. I would have to download it, and for some reason, it's not showing me the whole screen, so I
Hmm.
can't click on it and save it.
Mm.
So I don't know what the problem is. It's some kind of techno babble problem.
Right? I'm in the same boat as you right now. It's like I can't get half of my stuff to work. And all I did was unplug the thing and move it to a different room. It shouldn't have reset my password and locked me out.
Gary saying Father Fish is going to sing to us tonight. I don't know. It's very frustrating. We have a brand new song. Actually, you've heard it before. Um, I wonder, I could play it, but I don't think, I don't think I can show it. I don't know. I'm going to have to play with this when I have time to fool with it, not in the middle of a production here. Yeah, right. Let's try to get my act together a little bit.
And don't feel bad. I'm in the same boat right now.
Glory. Mexicali fish keeper. Mexicali fish keeper.
That's a pretty cool name.
Yeah. All right. What is going on here? Turkey X30. What is show and tell live stream? Show and tell live stream is Wednesday nights at what time we're doing that? 7:30.
Mm-hmm.
And anybody who has a natural tank can come up and show it off. You got a minute or two to talk about your tank, maybe a little longer if it's stupendous. We're averaging about 20 people coming up an evening showing off their tanks. It's really a lot of fun.
Yeah, it
And
is.
yeah, and just a remarkable kind of experience for all of us because, we get to see what a lot of people are doing, and that's pretty neat. Father Frank Sinatra fish, Jay Malloy. Mercy, mercy. I was thinking about that today, actually, about singing.
Hey, that would
Uh,
be cool.
yeah, I don't have the words. I don't have the. What did they do with them? I think I got them somewhere. I'm not going to do it. Lord, Lord. Corey Atkins. Oh, I'm a local in the Eastern Shore of Maryland, work out of Salisbury, live on the Monacan River in Princess Anne, about 10 minutes down the road from you. Goodness sakes, Corey Atkins. Well, we're going to have to get together. I've been thinking about doing some kind of a club or something. I just don't know. I don't know anybody in Salisbury yet who's got fish. And I guess the only way to find them is to do something to get them together.
That's pretty much it.
maybe, maybe that's the way to do it. Want to create
Sometimes
a
that's what you
house.
gotta do.
MKB wants advice on creating a nano tank for his shrimp. Well, just follow the formula. You can do it as a deep substrate, small tank like a 10-gallon. You want an inch, maybe a little less than an inch of soil, 2 inches or a little less sand. Plant it, fill it up, plant it, and put some shrimp in it. And then build a food web. Shrimp love the food web. So
Yeah, they do.
that'll be a really important thing to do. Corey, well, it'd be fun to do that, Corey. We need to find a way to get together. I do have a warehouse, which is what I'm in right now, and I've got a few tanks in the works, a few set up, and got more coming. I've got another 9 tanks I need to get set up in here, so it's going to be fairly substantial once we get it together. And I'm thinking I'll invite people to come in,
Oh, that's gonna be
hang
awesome.
out, and whatever. That'll
Sorry
be
about
fun
that.
to have you. Yeah.
I've got a friend right now, so I'm puppy sitting. And
Oh,
that's what
really?
you keep hearing in the background.
Okay. What kind of puppy? What is it?
Actually, he's a miniature dachshund. He's my mom's,
A
and
Doxy, right?
yeah, and he's
Uh,
about 20 years old.
oh
So
my!
yeah, and
I
I'm
had
happy
one
for him.
years ago.
He's a sweetheart. I mean, just a total sweetheart.
Nice. Yeah, they're nice dogs.
Yeah, they are.
AI guy, love an invite. Well, anybody can come up. AI. All you have to do is show up and click on the link. The link is posted. It's available. No special invitation is required. Everyone is welcome to come up.
Oh, Rob had a question, Father Fish. He wants to know if your plant package is large enough for a 20-gallon. It's 20 inches by 14 inches.
Yeah, it is. You might want to put them in and then check it. You might want to add a few more plants, but it'll be enough to get the tank started. Try to remember, I went over to Super Cichlids yesterday. Took a bunch of plant bags over there that we had left over, um, and I put a bag in each tank. I think they were tens. No, they were a couple of them were 20s. It did a good job of. It's 16 different bunches, and if you separate the bunches, it's 4 or 5 plants per bunch. So that's upwards of 80 plants. They're single stems. They're 5 to 6 inches tall. A few are a little bigger. Some, like the baby tears, are maybe 4 inches. But the baby tears bunch has probably 20 plants in it. It's really a nice little bundle. Anyway, it did a good job. Yeah, I think one pack of that. Let it get it started. Let it get going, and then you'll know a month or so down the road whether you want to put more in or not.
Yeah,
Let's
that's an awesome deal on plants. I mean, an awesome deal.
Yeah, now we get them in on Tuesday. The farm cuts them on Monday, package and ship them. They cut them early Monday morning, and then they package them around noon and ship them. We get them early Tuesday morning, and we separate them out in bundles. We get 20 bags of 100 plants each, and we separate them out 16 to a bag. So there's a little bit of a mix in there. We do that to ensure we have enough, because sometimes something will get cut. And then we ship them out same day. We ship out Tuesday, the same day that we get them in, to everyone who has ordered just the stem plant. If you've ordered stem plant plus other plants, they go out on Wednesday. And then any orders that come in afternoon on Tuesday or Wednesday are shipped out on Thursday. Dirt goes out Mondays and Fridays, and sometimes Thursday, or we fill in if we're not too busy trying to get the plants out. But typically the dirt will go out Monday or Friday. And what else? That's it. That's the story. So any plants that are left over by Thursday, we make them available as a special package for half price. I think it's half price. Might be a little other than half price. I don't remember. Um, but those are a few days old, and you're going to get them a few days late. So we don't guarantee them, but they typically come through in perfect condition. Unless the plants get tied up by the mail service for a week or so, they're going to be fine. After a week, they do deteriorate. There's just no hope for it. But most plants that we ship arrive in 2 to 3 days maximum. About 1% get there later, and sometimes so much later that we just have to replace them. So we take basically a 1% loss on shipping. What we ask if that happens is for the person to send us another $10 to cover the shipping, and then we replace the plants at no charge, because the post office won't make good on anything.
And that's true.
They are a month late. So long as they get it delivered, they're not going to cover it.
Yeah.
Um, even though it'll be dead and gone by then. The only thing that covers if it's lost. And what we've discovered is that we have had so far half a dozen packages that were taken to the post office, and for whatever reason were never scanned.
That's wild.
We know that happened because we just had one that we took to the post office, and a week later it got scanned for the first time.
Wow.
So it got lost somehow at the post office. And when you walk through there, you don't wonder why. where there are literally piles of packages sitting everywhere that are there for days and weeks at a time, that are just piled up as trash. It's really shocking.
Yeah, it is.
It really is shocking.
Oh, we've got a question, Father Fish, from
Sure.
Brax Gaming 1000. What fish should I put in a 55-gallon tank for a beginner?
Well, you really want some larger fish. The easiest one for a beginner, and probably the nicest one, is angelfish. You can keep a lot of other small fish with angelfish. Now, nothing as small as a cardinal or a neon. That's a bit too small. But any kind of mollies, platies, guppies, um, fish that get a little larger, like an inch long or so, are fine with angels. They don't chase anything. A little fish, they'll get big enough to eat. Angels will get 5 to 6 inches. They'll get pretty good size. So 55 is really a nice size tank for them. I've got some here. I'm a little afraid to disconnect my camera and hook it up to an extension wire because I tried that earlier and um, had to dump everything to get it back online. I don't think this is really long enough to show you much. That's about as close as I can get.
Oh, yeah.
They're up there.
Those beautiful
You
tanks,
can
though.
sort of see them.
I love those angelfish.
They're in there. You see them in the corner. They're in with Geophagus. That's another really nice fish um, to put in a larger tank. They get 5 6 inches. They're a very gentle fish and wonderfully colorful. It's really a perfect fish for. And I've got them with angels. I got them together here. The fish right directly in back of me are gold severums. You can get away with gold severums too. They get a little more aggressive, but again, they're really not bad at all. There are other fish like um, some of the South American cichlids. I was going to say Crebentus, that's an African, but it's a very gentle fish. Rams are a little more sophisticated. They require a bit more skill to be able to handle them. What am I trying to think of? Well, I'm thinking gourami, but gouramis are really not a good beginner fish. I've got two gouramis. You can't see them. Maybe I'll try to hook this up later so we can do that. The Asphronemus gourami, which gets 2 foot long. It's called the true giant gourami. In the wild, they probably get to 3 foot. It's a food fish from I think Thailand, that kind of Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam, from that region, I believe. Um, but they're really kind of stunning. You can get them up to 8, 10, 12 inches in a home aquarium, and they're very dramatic fish. Particularly the gold ones. They're just kind of stunning. So I got a couple just to be able to grow them up a bit. JT's benefits and beauty of the planted aquarium. Never saw any severum do anything crazy. Flex their muscle with gill flares. Yeah, I agree. I agree. They're really a pretty gentle fish, and they get good size. The gold, which is my favorite, is just a stunningly beautiful fish. I think I've got two females here. I need to get some more because the gold male has red striation through it. It's just amazingly pretty fish.
See.
Sloths are talking about gouramis. The dwarf gouramis are the real problem. They're bred. They're bred by the millions. Almost no one in the U.S. breeds them. Um, they come out of Vietnam, Thailand and the Philippines, and they have a virus that's endemic to the population that causes them to die typically within 6 months or
Wow.
shorter. They really don't last long. Occasionally you'll get one that'll survive, but usually they don't. You also never get females. They never ship females, partly to keep control of the population, the availability, and also because the females don't have any color and the males are very colorful, so they're sold for that, for color, which is really unfortunate. I had a farmer friend years ago who got a shipment of females in, and he worked with them for a while. He was able to get some going. He finally beat the virus by removing the eggs and growing them out in completely separate conditions so that they have no access to their parents, and was able to get healthy fish then. I don't know what happened to that strain. That was 20 years ago or so.
Wow. I had no idea about that. My gourami, I've had him for about 5 months, and he seems to be doing healthy right now. But I'll definitely keep an eye out.
What kind are they?
Dwarf gourami.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They come in blue and red. Adam Armbruster, welcome to Snook. Welcome, Adam. Thank you for joining the struggle here. Jay Malloy says, I've always struggled to keep gouramis alive. It's not your fault. They're they're just not a healthy strain of fish, and there's been no serious effort. Who was it? Rob's Fish discovered that problem about 2 years ago. He researched it with a lab, and they discovered the virus. And I don't know if they were able to overcome it or not. Eventually, somebody will succeed in overcoming that and growing a strain out that will not have the virus. The problem is doing that one time is not sufficient
Yeah.
because you can't breed them back and keep the strain clean. And you need to be able to introduce new genetics, or you wind up with other kinds of genetic anomalies like bent spine or whatever. Um, so it's a difficult issue to deal with, and apparently the entire global population is infected. They're probably also not available in the wild. They may no longer exist in the wild. There are a large number of fish, tropical fish, that no longer exist in the wild,
Dang.
which
That's
means
horrible.
that the existence of that population is wholly dependent upon the trade. If the trade goes down, those fish all disappear. Not only those, but whole regions of where fish are living wild, being caught wild, those areas will all disappear because they're being protected now by virtue of the local population being able to harvest them. If that ceases through some kind of nefarious legislation or other, then those areas will, other economic interests will move into them, and those native populations will be destroyed as they are everywhere else where there's mining and farming and clear cutting.
Wow, I had no idea. Is it dangerous for other types of fish if you have a community tank with a dwarf gourami, or does it only affect
Apparently
gourami?
not.
Good.
Apparently, I've not heard of. of that being the case. I wouldn't want to test it. I think they
Absolutely.
probably die early enough to. I don't know. That's a really, really, really good question. I'll have to get back to Bob about that, or
Yeah,
Rob.
absolutely. Because I was debating on actually putting my gourami in the big tank behind me with some guppies. I was gonna talk to you first to see if that would be safe to do because I know that the gourami is kind of more of a predatory fish, so I wasn't sure if that would work. But yeah, after hearing that, it's like maybe he should just be quarantined to himself.
Well, you've had him how long?
About 5 months.
And he's doing well.
Oh, he seems perfectly healthy.
Well, good. Well, maybe you're
He got lucky.
fortunate. Maybe you got one. Maybe you got a healthy one. That's always possible, I'm sure.
Hopefully. Oh, we got a question from Thomas. He was asking me, but I don't have the expertise on this. I need to refer this to you, Father Fish. He says, I found that one of my aquariums had a very dark spots on sand and stone. That noxious areas, right? What did why did that happen? Most of the fish survive. I prefer pumpless tanks. Is that why?
I kind of half listened to that and didn't really.
It's all right. Want me to reread it? It's at timestamp 11 by Thomas.
Six,
That's
six,
611.
611.
Yeah.
One of my crimes has dark spots on sand and stone. That is anoxic areas, right? No, that's not what that is. Um, no, that's not anoxia causing that. It's either bacteria or it's algae. It's probably bacteria. Um, it could simply be dark spots on sand and stone. Dark spots. Dark can move up in the tank. I've got a tank back here. See if I can. I really need to have this thing on the wire, don't I? See the black working up in the
Mhm.
substrate there. Can you see that? I'm
Yep.
not looking at my camera. Yeah. See the black line?
Mhm.
That's that is detritus and other waste that's worked its way down into the sand from the surface. So that's actually that'll keep going down until it merges with the dirt on the bottom. So it's not in any way a problem or a danger. It's perfectly normal and natural for that to happen. It happens because that particular tank has a great deal of nutrients going in it, mainly because of a lot of plants. And I went through a period early on where I pulled a lot of stem plants out. They weren't doing as well as I wanted. I pulled them out and replanted. So I both stirred up the dirt a little bit, and also wound up with a lot of dead plant material, and that's what has caused that. It's essentially beneficial. It's not anything that's toxic or particularly problematic. Here, if I move this way, you can see some tanks a little bit.
Yeah.
That's a little better, and it also allows me to look at the screen and at the camera at the same time.
Hey,
So
that
I'm not,
works.
so I'm not looking away. Carly Puig has 100 gallons, platies, guppies, bettas, and shrimp. That's a lot of little fish in a really big tank.
Yeah.
You know, I've got a big tank over here. I don't know if we can see it. It's back there. You can sort of see,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, sort of see the top of it. It's a 160-gallon tank,
Ooh,
I
that's a
think.
big tank.
Yeah, big tank, um, which I will get to eventually. And I know what's going to happen. I have this fantasy about having a really big tank full of really little fish. I've
That's
done
actually
this 100 times with big tanks. I've yet to have a really big tank with really little fish.
that's actually kind of my goal with the one behind me. I want to put either platies or guppies because I've got both, and they are having a bunch of little baby fish for me. I did not realize how fast they'd reproduce.
What I wind up doing is putting big fish in big tanks
Yeah,
because I wind up with big fish. And I really do like big fish. I had a lot of big fish in my shop. I have not had any big fish since I closed the shop. And I really don't have any now except for these two Osphornemas that are not going to really begin showing any size until they're 2 to 3 years old. So it's going to be a while for them. But I love big fish. There's so many of them I'm just fascinated by. And I know that's what's going to happen to that tank. I'm going to wind up with some monsters in it. It'll become a monster tank. But I need to do that because I need to be able to demonstrate to folks that you can have big fish in a deep substrate, heavily planted tank. You really can do it. It really is not an impossibility.
absolutely.
The problem that folks run into, and it's really from a fish's standpoint, it's kind of tragic. But what very often happens is a serious hobbyist, after having gone through all of the little stuff, will decide they really want some big fish. So they'll start collecting Oscars and Pacus and other fish that get big, and they'll put them in tanks that are bare tanks. They'll feel like they need to give fish room to swim. So that's what they do. And they'll keep them in that kind of situation for a year, 2 years, 3 years, maybe longer. And the fish becomes, for lack of a better word, insane. It loses its ability to function with respect to anything else in its environment. And so you put something in there, immediately it attacks it, whatever it is, even if it's another fish. A plant gets attacked, anything will get attacked. Those fish are, 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 are not good candidates for a planted tank because they're frankly not good candidates for a tank with any other fish either, for that matter. Causing a fish to lose its ability to function normally and then saying that the fish is incapable of acting normally seems to me there's a missing link there somewhere. The
Definitely.
fish, the fish keeper has a responsibility to provide an appropriate environment for their fish. There are no fish other than those in the ocean that require open water. None. Every single fish that's in the hobby, in their wild environment, are living in rubble. And by rubble, I mean tree branches, whole trees, rock piles, voluminous plants. They're living in an environment that is full of things. and they're not out in open water. They're in among that debris, those rocks, those plants. They're living in and among the plants if they're plants. They use them as protection. They use them as a way to create nests for their offspring. It is perfectly normal for Oscars, for example, to live in an environment that is heavily planted. That's totally normal in the wild. So, assuming that they can't, that they cannot manage to live other than disruptively in a planted environment, lacks an understanding of the nature of that animal and really reflects the attitude of the fish keeper, which is to try to keep everything as absolutely immaculate as possible in order to prevent disease. And of course, that doesn't work because that is the very environment that is most prone to disease. Disease occurs in aquarium environments at a vastly more dangerous rate than it does in nature. Ick infestation, for example, is virtually non existent in nature because the parasite, when they drop off of the fish, are gobbled up by other macrofauna and microfauna for that matter. They don't survive. In an aquarium that is pure and clean, you get something in there that is parasitic and it'll run roughshod over everything because there are no controls over it. Game czar. Father Fish, your poem Little Fishy, for some reason, reminds me of the incredible Mr. Limpet. Are you a fan of that movie? Yes, I certainly am. That's we need to find a way to play it. I don't even know how to do it. I'd have to down it's I'll tell you what, let me do this. I can do this right away. I'm gonna go over to the channel to YouTube. I'm going to get on it. I'm going to go to manage videos. Father Fish song is currently untitled, unlisted brother. I'm gonna publish it right now. Public. Publish. Okay. And then I'm gonna open it. I'm gonna copy the link. Can you hear that?
I can't hear it,
I
sadly.
don't. So yeah. Okay. Let me get back over here. And we will just post the link. How's that?
Hey, that works. And
I
sorry
got it.
about my dog whining in the background. My German Shepherd's going nuts.
Paste. Okay. There. Now you can play it all by yourself.
Absolutely.
It's really nice. I think everybody will enjoy it. Who's this? DJ Real MC. Fish fertilizer grows great cannabis. Grows great tomatoes too. I don't know about cannabis, but I know it grows tomatoes. I may just hold off on wrenching you for the. I may just. Can you hear John screaming in the background?
No, that's just my dog.
That's Cornwall. Yeah, right.
Yeah. They don't like it when it rains and it's raining outside, so I've got a little dachshund here that's scared to death of the rain. And then whenever he gets scared, the German Shepherd gets protective and he just goes to whining and showing out. So sorry about that, everybody.
Games R is watching the video. He did the music for this. In fact, he did the whole song. He wrote the song, and we just got video up for it, and it really is cool.
Yeah,
I think it's a lot of fun. And thank you so much, Games R. He put another one to music that I wrote a couple of years ago. It's called My Little Fishies. I love My Little Fishies. And we've got that too. I'm trying to get that one up as well.
that's a good song. Both of those are really good songs.
Yeah, that one's available. How is that available? It's on Discord, I think.
Mhm. Yeah, I know if it's available on Discord. At least I think it is. I had GameStar was actually kind enough to send them to me through direct message, and
Okay.
they're amazing songs. I also loved the Guppy song too. That one was awesome.
Yes. Ishan Aquatics. I was the one that asked the question about the betta breeding of good news. They spawned 4 days ago and now have some fry free swimming. I do too, and they're just about 4 days old. So
Oh wow, you've got babies?
I got babies. Yeah.
Oh, congratulations!
I'm doing them completely naturally.
Absolutely.
I put a male and two or three females in about a 2 gallon tub, floating in a bigger tub, and loaded it up with food web material. They bred. I took the females out and then looked at them Friday, and they were babies, so I took the male out and checked them today, and they're doing fine. So I've got them in that tub. I'm not feeding them, although I did put a few brine shrimp in today. I'll probably do that. I'll probably do brine shrimp because I'm now hatching out brine shrimp, trying to get it going. It's a matter of getting the process going so that you can do it dependably and consistently. But we'll see how they do. I don't know how many are in there, 20 or 30, I think. So we'll see.
And now that I have my food web established in my 20-gallon, my guppy fry, I've been watching them and they're always full. You never see them hungry because I boiled eggs where I could have the egg yolk for them, and you never see them hungry enough to put it in there. I mean,
Nice.
the food
Nice.
web really works, especially for fry.
Russell Jones, am I still breeding snakes? I haven't had snakes in years. I did have a lot of snakes at my shop. Um, I was talking with a fellow recently who was president of the Venice Club. Worked for a couple of different pet shops. He's now working for Repticon about coming up here to this area in order to get in the New England Northeast corridor. He expressed some interest, and then I didn't hear back from him. So I don't know if that will work out at all. But he does a lot of snakes and other herps. I kind of want to get into turtles and frogs.
Oh,
Sal,
that'd be cool.
there are there are tiger salamanders wild in my area.
Oh, wow.
I'm anxious to get out and collect. I
Absolutely.
managed to get one. I got one, didn't know I had it, shipped it in a bag of mulch, of food web, to somebody in, I think, Ohio. They found it and donated it to a local nature center, which was thrilled to get it, and I guess it's doing fine. That was about, golly, a year and a half ago.
Wow.
Haven't had one since. I did get axolotl eggs, and I put them in a couple of different of my food web vats that are not heated. Got some hatching, got some babies. I saw some half inches. So I haven't seen anything in about a week, so I don't know if they have survived or not. If they did, they're probably on the bottom where I would not be able to see them easily. So they may well still be in there. There were a couple of dozen last I looked. So that my whole approach now is to breed fish in natural environments where the environment is feeding the babies.
Hmm.
I augment that as needed, but it's basically a much more natural approach to spawning and raising fry, getting fry at least up to the free swimming stage. So that's what I'm doing with the bettas right now, and I did that with the axolotls, and I'll be doing it with other fish. I've got guppies, of course, and in that kind of situation. I have shrimp. Don't know how the shrimp are doing. I haven't checked on them for a few months, but they that may be working out too. We'll see. Porta, I know python morphs are incredible. I saw one the other day. It just was unbelievable, just unbelievable. The patterning that they've been able to get on some of these pythons is, and boas too, for that matter, is really remarkable. A peaceful live show. Well, thank you. We are peaceful around here mostly.
We are.
Rob,
I'm not quite sure the dog is. uh,
what is this? Carly Puig, when I lived in Cacaiacara here in Brazil on the rainy season, as the street was semi permanently covered with 10 inches of water, we had fish on the street quite literally. I'm sure you did. Fish will always go up into the shallows.
yeah, they will.
There are different kinds of, bristle nose. He's talking about bristle nose.
Hmm.
Do I recommend a lot of flow in a tank or minimum flow? If I had to choose, I would say minimum. Um, there are fish that will do really, really well in maximum flow. They're typically fish that live in streams, creeks, like that live in flowing water, and they of course prefer flowing water. Um, Most of the fish that are in the hobby are much more sedentary. They're really pond or lake fish, fish that are found in pretty still, calm water. Ooh,
That nature guy has a question for you, Father Fish. What's your favorite plant?
my favorite plant. Probably my favorite plant are the swords. Um, and all of them. There's such an amazing variety. We carry, I don't even know how many, 6, 7, 8 different species of sword. They're little swords, big swords. They're easy to grow. They're not light intensive one way or the other. You can grow them in a shaded tank, or you can grow them in a highlight tank. Um, they have massive root systems. So they're able to get a lot of nutrition, which means they grow really fast. They're easy to they very easily will will flower in a tank. And of course, if a plant flowers, it's gonna create seeds or babies. The swords are nice because the flower turns in, if it's fertilized, turns into a baby on the stem.
Oh, wow.
It will grow more roots then, so that you can actually break it off of the stem and plant it. So they're really a remarkable plant. But probably the one I like the most is the Madagascar lace, simply because they're such an unusual plant. I've got a lot of them. I've got about 50 of them now. So we got a really good deal on Madagascar lace. And they're big. They're like a
Oh,
foot.
wow.
They've got a lot of leaves on them. So
Yeah,
it's a
those
good,
plants are gorgeous.
yeah, it's a really good time to get some Madagascars with good leafing on them. Duckweed flu. I've got the duckweed flu.
I think we all do.
Yeah. What is the banana plant? It's a lily. It's a type of lily that has tubers on it that look for all the world like a bunch of bananas.
Hmm.
They don't get big. The bananas are maybe an inch long. Roots will come out of the bottom tip of those so-called bananas, those tubers, and that root will then get down into the substrate and take up nutrients. They have a leaf that will eventually go to the top, like any kind of lily, but usually they're slower growing in a pond. They do really well outdoors year round. They're not cold tolerant, so you really can't get away with leaving them out through the winter if you're in a place where it freezes. But if you've got them in a vat that you can put on rollers or slide in to a garage or a protected area, you can keep them going through the winter and then put them back out in the summer, or even trays. They'll do well in trays. I remember years ago, I went to a farm. I was looking for bananas, and I heard about this guy who had banana plants in a pond in his yard. And I found him, went there. And he said, "Oh yeah, it's full of them out there. Just go out and take what you want." It was a pond, a mud pond, about a foot deep water that was drying out. And I went out and I started pulling them out. I got literally a 5-gallon bucket full of banana plants in about 15, 20 minutes. It was just astounding. I don't remember what I did with them. I think I sold them to a couple of other farms. Um, but if you can get them going, they'll just go nuts. They're really, and they're a fun plant in the tank because they look cool.
Yeah, they do.
They don't get big at all.
Dirtwire has a question for you, Father Fish. Will all swords become mothers eventually? Got a few babies from someone the other day and planted them.
I don't know the answer to that question. I know there are swords that do not send out flowers, but they multiply by creating. They'll either send a runner out, or more commonly, they'll grow another plant right alongside the crown. The crown is the base where the leaves grow out of. They'll grow another plant right there that'll develop, and they'll actually form a cluster. And that cluster can become. I saw a cluster once in the Swanee River in Florida that was 5 feet wide. It was a single cluster of swords. Those leaves were like 2 feet tall coming up out of the water. It was an amazing. I really wanted to collect it, but I didn't dare because it was probably 50 years old. But it was this massive cluster. No flowers, no mother plants, none of this stuff coming out. It was all growing like this. So that may well be a male, or at least not a mother plant. I mean, a mother of another color or something
Right?
strange. a brother plant, if you
Yeah.
will.
I didn't realize that we had swords growing in the Swanee River. I had no idea.
Well,
That's
I
pretty
don't.
amazing.
They're not native particularly,
Yeah.
but the Swanee is. Yeah, that's close to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could get in there. You probably find them if you
That's what
got
I was
in
thinking.
shallow water. Get in shallow water, and you'll probably find them. There could be a lot of plants in there. A lot of plants. Virtually everything will be there. What else is going on here?
Just some jokes in the chat.
Everybody goofing.
Yeah. See.
Oh,
I don't see any new questions though. Actually, 3G has a question. Solars in aquarium. I've heard it was more of a pond plant.
I'm sorry. What is this?
It's I'm probably butchering the name, but it's Slawsers. I'm guessing some type of plant or maybe a fish.
Where is what's the timestamp?
Its timestamp is 6:48 by 3G. And Pamela, yes, Father Fish does have a book coming out, and I'm excited to read it when it's published.
I'm not seeing. Am I? I'm
Yes,
in top chat.
mine actually got switched back to top chat too. That's weird. I had it set to live chat.
Okay, let me get to 648 now. Jay, I see Jay talking about um, the rosette sword, the parviflorus. That's a pretty plant. That's a smaller sword. I've got 3 or 4 floret swords. I got the red, I don't even remember, the melon. I think a couple of them, and they don't get tall. They get like maybe 4 or 5 inches tall, 6 inches
Yeah.
tall, and floret. They're really pretty. I don't see 648.
Yes, sir. And it's by 3G, but now I'm not. There it is. I found it on my end, but
It
I'm not
says
sure.
Schlosser's in an aquarium. I've heard it was more of a pond plant. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Schlosser's. If you go to the next one down,
Mhm.
you'll see Schlosser's.
Oh, I don't know why I thought that was a plant. That's what happens when you get 3 hours sleep.
As they said, it needs extreme lighting at 649. Hygrophila carombosa, the temple plant, they're amazing too. They get, just enormous. Pogostellatus, I think pogostellatus, we did not have it for the longest time. We finally, I think, are getting it in. It's a wonderful plant. It looks like sticks growing. It's really, really kind of cool. Um, but branching like branches so on a tree. Doesn't have leaves exactly. It's got more like these round stems that come out at various angles, and it's it's sort of also called an octopus plant.
Oh yeah, those are nice. Yeah, I've got a few cuttings that somebody gave me that I'm growing out, and that plant, it seems to be bulletproof.
Yeah, it does real well. I saw one. I put one in a tank. The reason I went to super cichlids was to put some plants in the tank. I wanted to take some of the Madagascar lace up there, and I also took some Anubias and put a couple of Anubias in as well. And I think there was another Aponogeton I took up, might have been Crispus. I don't remember. Anyway, there was some Stellatus in there that had been in for, Lord, it's been a year, I think. That tag has been set up. That was like seeing an old friend. Big sturgeon in the Swanee. That's neat. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I've never heard
What
of
are
that either.
what are hyacinths? What are hyacinths? Does not do well in a tank because it really does require a lot of light.
Yeah, it does.
Um, it does wonderfully in an outdoor pond and will explode through the season. It does not tolerate freeze, but you can keep them indoors for the winter. They'll go down, but as long as the root system is doesn't rot, that you can get them to come back. You may only have one or two leaves left on it, but it will come back strong. Will Plecos wreck the stem plants? Typically, no. There are some plants that some Plecos like to chew leaves, chew holes in. They'll chew holes in swords sometimes, but generally, I would not say they wreck plants. Um, Evi R is talking about a tail rot treatment for guppies. Put some sea salt in the aquarium. However, I got some new Thorphras boras. Is salt a problem for them? It can be. You should do some partial water changes just to dilute that out. Um, try to get it down to a negligible level. Adam Armbruster says, I have gravel from my aquarium installed a few months ago. Fish are happy. Added many father fish plants and driftwood. Is it too late to add soil and sand? It may be too late to add soil. You certainly can add sand. If you freeze the soil in cubes, you can punch it down in the deep into the substrate. It won't fill the area, but it'll be effective. Um, but capping the gravel with sand is a simple thing to do. You just dump it in the tank, and it really will be wonderfully effective. It's a good fix for a gravel tank. Would
Yeah.
father food bootleg fish were it made illegal? No, I would not. One of the things I decided when I had my shop was to not violate any regulations or policies. And I railed against them, and it gave me the freedom to be able to rail against them because I was feeling it very personally, very much wanted to be able to have those animals, was not permitted to, and so I raised hell about it and felt very self-righteous and indignant doing so. But no, I would not do that. It's not worth it to me to go to jail or pay tens of thousands of dollars in penalties to do something that some government official has decided to use as a pummel to beat me over the head with. I'm
Yeah, I don't
I'm
blame
not
you.
I'm not willing to subject myself to that kind of tyranny.
Mhm. Yeah, they've got so many species now of fish that it's illegal to own or trade. I mean, it's really wild.
Yeah, and each state is different. When I was in Florida, there were a lot of fish I could not have that are
Mhm.
really very much wanted. But the only one that I was surprised was permitted, was not banned, was the abba abba, the Nile river fish, the
Mhm.
Gymnarchus nauticus. It was sufficiently exotic. It did not come and difficult to get. It had simply not been on anybody's radar, but is one that probably would survive in Florida waters.
Yeah, it seems like most things will survive in Florida.
Seems like, yeah. Yeah, and I've got my own attitude about that. I think the whole concept of invasive species is specious.
Yeah,
Any
pretty much.
every single animal on earth at one point or another was an invasive species or is now an invasive species. There are no exceptions to that.
That's
There are
true.
no animals anywhere on earth that are in the precise place they were when they first existed. Everything is invasive. And the whole idea of invasiveness is very much a part of the effectiveness of the nature system, which is to allow animals to thrive in the environment that is most suitable for them.
Mhm.
And if it's more suitable for them than it is to others that are already there, then oh well, so be it. If you're not where you belong, if you're not happy where you are and are not able to protect that environment, then you probably, from a purely natural standpoint, are not going to last there very long. You're just not, because there's going to be something come along that's going to like it a lot better and thrive a lot more and be a lot stronger, that may gobble you up as natural food. So I have a different kind of take on it. That's not to say I would release
Oh, absolutely.
animals into an environment where they currently do not exist. I wouldn't do that either, primarily because it's against the law.
Mhm.
Same issue. I'm not willing to submit myself to the tyranny of a bureaucrat who's simply looking for a way to get a notch on their belt.
Right.
Thank you. Go beat up on somebody else. Not interested.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%.
Invisible Bill, ready for plants. Good. All right. Games are. I wish water hyacinths wasn't illegal. It is pretty.
Yeah, it is.
Water lettuce probably is illegal too. There. Oh, I got something the other day. Um, frogbit. I gotta show you this. Let me go get it. This blew my mind when I got it. I'm working with another farm, and I ordered frogbit because I've been having trouble getting it. And let's see if I can find it. There it is. There it is.
Yeah, I
This,
love frog.
yeah, this. Well, wait till you see this. Frogbit, that little tiny plant that's about that big.
Yeah.
Try that.
Whoa. I had no idea it would grow into that. That's amazing.
Look at that. It's got
Wow.
runners all over it. Is that
Wow.
amazing or what? That's
Yeah.
frog. So put this in your plant in Texas,
That is amazing.
and it probably will flower. I'd almost bet it flowers.
Can't
I
wait to
don't.
see if it flowers or not. That's
I want to
awesome.
get it back in water, and that's
Oh, absolutely.
incredible. So order these while they're available. I've got about 20 of them. I don't even remember how much they're going through, but I may not even have them listed yet. I got to double check that because I think they may be listed as the little tiny ones.
That is just awesome. I had no idea. Did any of you guys know that frogbit could grow that large? Because I've only seen it get maybe that big, the leaves, but only just like the central leaves and it's all clumped together. I've never seen it grow like that. That is amazing.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna get over there right now and look at this because if you
Oh,
can get there quick and order it quick before I change it, I think. Let me see. Products B C D C F F R F L F O F O F O Frogbit. There it is. Frogbit.
have you got the giant frogbit on there?
No, no, I got the little one, and it's listed as $5.
That's actually a really good price.
$5 for a couple little leaves, but you ain't getting a couple little leaves. I'm gonna leave it like that. I don't remember what I paid for it. Probably it's about what I paid for it. Um, but I'll leave it like that for a few days and let those of you who are with us right now have a chance at getting one of these magnificent plants for $5. That'll
Those
be
are
an absolute
spectacular.
steal. Yeah.
I,
I'm going to change it tomorrow, so
oh,
jump on it.
absolutely.
Jump on it right now. Do I
Oh,
miss my Florida store? Ronaldo says. I miss so many of the things I had in the store. It was a 20-year collection, and I was collection center for an awful lot of stuff. I had a 500-gallon tank in there. I had so many things. I had altogether about 500 tanks, all different shapes and sizes. I kept three or four. All the rest, everything else went. I had a 4 foot by 6 foot, two of them,
wow.
10 inch, 12-inch tall trays that had salt water in them. They were wonderful. There's so many things. I miss that. I miss the system. Um, I don't miss retail jail. I don't miss the fact that for years I was in that store every single day of the year
Mhm.
for years. Never got a break from it. Could never go anywhere, could never do anything because I had to keep the doors open. So I don't miss that. I don't miss that one little bit. And in fact, I really have not recuperated from that yet. I'm just beginning to, I think. I'm just beginning to want to be out doing things. I became so sedentary, and because of my age and that sedentary just being there all the time, it got me into a pattern that has made it difficult for me to want to be up and active and going and doing things. And that's just beginning to come back now. So I got a boat to kind of force me into doing it. And I'm going to get that boat out and in the water very soon now. Next couple of weeks, I trust.
Yeah,
But even then, I'm a little apprehensive about it um, because I've gotten into this lethargic kind of state. So I'm hoping to be able to get out of that mentality. That's the one thing I don't miss. That's the worst of it. The best of it was just everything that happened. The people, just amazing and wonderful people. Um, and some people I got to know really, really well. They became personal friends.
I think you're gonna have an awesome time with the boat. I think that's gonna really be a game changer.
Well, I'm excited about it. It'll really take me back to my childhood because I grew up on the Chesapeake Bay out in the water all the time, fishing and crabbing. And
Yeah,
I had fish tanks with sticklebacks and pipefish and all kinds of really cool little animals from right out of the bay, out of the creek. And I'm looking forward to doing that again.
absolutely. And you got to get us some videos when you're out there.
Oh, I'll be doing that for sure. I ran into a fellow. Brenda had a booth at a thing here in Salisbury called Third Friday.
Hmm.
That's a marketplace, a street market for crafts people primarily. She does all kinds of salves. By the way, she's doing a lotion, a salve that is not soluble in water. You can put it on your hands and put your hands in the water, and it will not come off into the water. It's
That's
absorbed
awesome.
right into the skin immediately. Wonderful stuff. We're going to have it listed in our store as a fish keeper's hand lotion.
Yeah, I love that.
That'll be pretty cool. Anyway, she had a booth there, and I went to visit. And while I was there, ran into a young man with a very expensive piece of camera equipment who was filming everything. And I gave him my card and asked him to call me. I, I'm hoping to be able to find a young person, preferably, but anybody will do, as a cinematographer who can go with me on trips and come in here and film videos and help me do all of this audio visual stuff I'm trying to do, and just up the quality of it. So he said he would get back to me. I hope he does. If
Oh,
so, one of the things I really want to do is contact the National Aquarium and get myself invited back behind the scenes to talk with some of the fish keepers about what they're doing and to be able to talk specifically with them about natural systems. I know there's been some attempt to do that in the atrium, which is a sunlit area with some open water. So I'm anxious to do that. And if I do that, I want to definitely have a camera with me
oh, that'd
and
be awesome.
preferably have somebody with me who is holding that camera and shooting
Hmm.
the whole thing. So that's I want to do that. If I can get a camera person, that'll be one of the for sure trips.
Yeah.
I think I can inveigle my way in there. I was on the I'm one of the founders of the aquarium. I was
Oh,
on the
wow.
founding board of directors. I was chairman of the community relations committee on the very first board of directors, what's called the founding board. In fact, I worked for about 6 months to 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 get a bond issue approved by the voters to build the aquarium. And I was out literally every day going to community clubs and centers and wherever I could go to talk to people about this. And we were able to get it approved. So it's kind of locked into my heart. But I haven't
Absolutely.
been back in years, so I'm anxious to go back. It's become such a massive major undertaking. It's been expanded substantially from the original construction.
And
Oh,
Gary has a question. What's the name of the boat?
Gee, that's a good question. I have not named the boat.
Oh, you got to come up with a name now.
I do. I need to name the boat. Well, let's throw it open. $100 plant pack to somebody who comes up with the best name for the boat. And we'll do this. What time is it right now?
7:14.
7:14. We're going to be here for another 45 minutes or so. Let's see. We'll do it tonight, and we'll do it. Remind me, we'll do it Wednesday night.
All right, sounds like a
And then
plan.
we can announce the winner next Sunday. We'll open it also for next Sunday, and we will award $100 plant pack.
Well, Cornwall's already put his name down.
Into the deep, says 3J. Father's arch, farther, farther fish. Hey, we know 40 degrees water has a bacteria. Yeah, absolutely. This is important to understand. The fauna in water in a native body does not die when the water gets cold. It becomes um, how can I put this? It slows down. It gets numb. It gets very quiet. It almost hibernates. I would not call it a hibernation, but it has slowed considerably. But it does not die unless it freezes solid. If the water freezes solid, a lot of those animals will die. But if it's simply cold, they're still in there. If you collect that leaf mulch and put it in a container, bring it in the house, in a matter of hours, all of that life will begin swimming around. It'll all bounce back. Look at this. Look at this.
He just had to say hi.
Oh, he's a sweetheart.
Yeah, he's a big baby. uh,
Nice.
yeah, dog sitting can be fun.
Codfather. Nautilus.
That's pretty good.
Sand ship, the Kraken. Wrench. Father's Joy. Driftwood. I like that.
That's a good name.
Add more plants. Fish on it. Grandpa. Oh, love you, Grandpa. Nice. That's neat. That's cool.
The Godfather of the Sea. That's pretty good.
Godfather of the Sea. Huh? Mason Wood said, I have tiny snails in my tank and I didn't put them there. I do too.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed pond snails in this tank behind me. That one right there, the top one, full of snails. No idea in this world where they came from. They had to have come from plants that I put in. Not many other choices. No fish in there. Really haven't put anything else in there. So, you get, where can I do this? Like this. Um, Snails are endemic to water, I think.
Yeah, they pretty much are because I've got snails in my tanks that I have no idea how they got in there, but they're in there. And hey, they're doing their job eating the algae, so I
Right.
don't care.
Without a Bodie McBoatface. That's funny. Fishy's pulpit. Scott Dagagi. I did order your plant packet. It's supposed to be here Tuesday. It's a boat. The fatherly float, the sandbar, driftwood. Driftwood is a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Who suggested that first? Can we find it?
That's what I'm looking for to see if I can find it.
Where is it?
That is a good question. There's a lot of suggestions. Let's see.
Light just went out on a tank. Where is it?
Yeah, I can't remember. Was it before or after the Kraken comment or the
Uh,
Cod Father?
I think it was before.
All right, let's see. Oh, there it is. Um, let's see.
Timestamp. Who is
Time
it?
timestamp is 7:15, and it's by Scott. Call the boat
Scott
Driftwood.
Yagagi. Driftwood. Yep, there it is. Okay, Scott, we're gonna write that down. Scott Yagagi.
Actually, I'm gonna take a picture right quick. That's a really good name.
Yeah, I like it. What else we got here? Have I kept water hyacinth? I kept it outdoors. I don't think I have any. I've got water lettuce. I am getting, I might actually come think of it. I've been getting pond plants in for the store, and I've got half a dozen. If I don't have hyacinth, it's because it's not available yet. But I've got a bunch of others, including some lilies. I have red, yellow, and blue lilies. I've got bluebell. There's a lot more available. As I start getting orders for pond plants, I'll get more pond material in. It's available to me. I can get probably 100 different kinds of outdoor pond plants. So if you've got a pond and you're looking for something, drop me a line and I can probably get it for you. Erie is definitely gone. Erie has been gone for weeks and months.
Oh wow,
Um,
did not know that.
yeah, well,
I've been
yeah,
seeing him in the chat.
he been
Oh,
gone.
up here, yeah, yeah, he's definitely gone there.
Jayhawk. What? I don't think that's true, Jayhawk. Um, it doesn't make the nitrate spike. It simply stops taking nitrates out of the water. There are a lot of plants that are actually not aquatic plants. They're not true aquatic plants. They are what's referred to as bog plants. They're plants that grow naturally in mud, adjacent to the water, and not typically in the water. Now there are other kinds of plants like all of the Ludwigia that they will begin in water and then grow very quickly up and out of the water. Bacopa is another one. There are lots of Luds, all different kinds and colors of Ludwigia, but they all are reaching for the air. And once they reach the air, they drop their aquatic leaves because those are less effective at getting oxygen and nutrients, primarily oxygen, out of the air. But those are generally bog plants. They're not a true aquatic plant. Nature's savior, substrates, fisher of men, seize the day. That's very good. SEAS. Godfather in the Sea. We have all of these listed, so we'll go over them.
Hmm.
Let's see.
There's a lot of good suggestions.
There really are, aren't they? Tank mate.
That's pretty good.
New kid on the dock.
Okay, that's cute.
The baby oxys, I've got about 20 or so that are better than half an inch. They're not quite an inch, but they're getting there. They're in natural environments, so I can't always see them because I don't have them in a tank up front. I did for a while. I had about a dozen or so in a small tank, and I put them all in a vat, which is loaded with nutrients. So anxious to see how all that works out. Somebody was asking me a question about axes, and I can't remember what it was, but it was something I wanted to talk with you guys about. I'll see if it comes back to mind.
Yes, sorry about that. Just had to see what was going on with my Ring camera.
The HMS Amazon Sword. That's cute. Creeping Rush. Um, no, they're not a highlight. They're really a low to medium light. I do have that available. It's a really neat little plant.
Now that's a good name, Fishy Albert Einstein.
Father of seven seas, a sword dollar fillet, fishy Albert Einstein. That's funny. The Guppy Express.
Yeah, that's a good one. The Guppy Express. I like that one.
Can you do Mentha aquatica? I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
Let me look that one up.
Oh, one second, Father Fish. My brother's at the door. Can I be back in just 1 second?
Yeah, go.
Okie dokie. I'll
I'm
be
gonna,
right back.
Meanwhile, I'm going to look up Mentha aquatica. Water mint. I should know that. We do have some mints. Bacopa is a mint. Um, I don't know. It's a Limocaea. I've had mints. I have had some mints in the plant pack. I've not listed them separately unless I listed Bacopa, which I might have done. Handling algae in an oxalotl tank sent over by me. It might have been that. I just don't remember. The mints do really well. Fishing Impossible. That's cute. Jay's giving it up. Is bulbitis like a mint? No. Bulbitis is a fern. SS Resurrection. That's cute. Add more plants. SS add more plants. Fatherfish Showboat. That's fun. Oh dear. Fish story. Just to mess with Alex. Yeah, there you go. Alex needs messing with. You need to get Alex up to 100,000. Really do.
That's my chair. Come on, buddy. Come on. Come on. Sorry about that. Apparently, he wanted to sit here, so.
That's funny. Do I sell Buse? Daniel, I do not sell Buse. I carried it for a while. I couldn't keep it. The biggest problem with Buse for me is I've got to be able to keep it in water in a tank because it just doesn't hold up refrigerated. I have the same problem with a lot of the high colored plants. They don't hold up refrigerated. After a week, they're shot. There are a lot of plants that'll do well that way, hold up kind of indefinitely. Once I currently have my boat in the back of the warehouse. Once that comes out of there, we're going to set up more racks and more tubs, and we will have more plants in water and fewer in refrigeration. That's going to allow us to keep them relatively indefinitely, and to actually get growth out of them. So I'm very much looking forward to that. Eventually, we'll have it set up to the point where we'll really be raising a lot of plants. I want
That's
to
a
have at least 100 tubs, um, so that we have a tub for each of the plants that we're carrying. The SS Do Nothing Boatcaster Copy Express. That is funny.
Sacred Shoal's pretty good too.
Charles is saying it's an African water fern. The Father Fisher. What shrimp and snails can coexist with small cichlids?
Hmm.
Gee, virtually any, really. Depends on the small cichlid, of course. If you're talking about Malawi's, not much. I mean, they're small, they're 3 to 4 inches, but they'll eat a shrimp if they can get near one. Rams won't. Um, by and large, crebensis won't. Some of the other smaller South American cichlids, like keyholes, are pretty good. It depends on the fish.
Walking in the Glory has a question, Father Fish. Would you do a beta sorority with mollies?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. In fact, that probably would work out really well because they're about the same size. Neither are particularly aggressive. The mollies would do well in that kind of environment, and probably would provide the kind of buffering that the female bettas would would thrive in. I
Oh,
think that
Dar
would be I think that would be interesting, and I don't know that I've done it.
that would be. Darboire has a recommendation for the boat name, Plant Hunter.
Oh, that's very good. Futuristic purpose loves scaleless fish. I do too. Walking in the glory said that's not the answer I was expecting. What was the question?
The question is if you could keep a beta sorority with mollies.
Oh, mollies. Oh, okay. I don't see a problem with it. What food would you recommend for growing up small festivum? They're going to eat anything. I've got a couple in my 25-year-old tank, 23-year-old tank. They're about the biggest fish in there. They're going on 3 inches. I think I've got two of them in there. They're doing really well. Um, they're very healthy. They're not aggressive at all. They're in. I've got a lot of semi-aggressive fish in that tank, but they're all smallish. They're all like 2 to 3 inch tops, and they seem to do very well. Smaller fish don't do as well anymore. I think they're just too much pressure on them.
We got another really good name too, the SS Fish Hugger.
Oh, that's very good.
That is.
Oh, Kazakhstan. Greetings from Kazakhstan. Welcome, welcome. It boggles my brain that we have people literally all over the world in here right now that
Yeah,
we
it is.
can talk with and interact with, that we can bring up on our live stream on Wednesday night,
Hmm.
and have direct and immediate contact with. It's just amazing, just amazing.
Yeah, it is.
Snailing away. That's very good, very
That
clever.
is.
Foxy likes snailing away. Foxy is crazy for snails.
Me too. I love
Yeah.
snails.
Plantronic.
That's pretty good.
Doom pies in the Netherlands. Dana Caught likes snailing away. Flying cars next. We already got them. Yeah, there's nothing like instant communications anywhere in the world. I mean, that's magic.
Right?
That really is magic.
It's something that whenever I was a kid, I figured one day we would have, but and it really still surprises me today.
Yeah. Anywhere in the world, anytime,
Mhm.
under any circumstances, we can have a one-on-one look, see, and tell. We can all but touch.
Mhm.
It's just amazing.
Yeah, it is.
Paid for by plants. Well, that's pretty good,
Actually.
actually.
There's gonna be a lot of good names. The choice is gonna be hard.
Oh yeah, sand, sea, and substrates. That's very good. Sand, sea, and substrates.
Dreamboat. That's actually
Rainbow's
kinda
good.
cool.
Oh, that's wonderful.
SS Collective.
Brain stems. I don't get that.
Yeah, I don't get that one either.
Brain stems.
Yeah. Hashtag Oxalotl boat.
Excellent. There we go. Oh, SS Collective. The SS Collector or Collective. Nice. HMS what? HM
I'm not sure.
HMS HMS Bog.
The art,
Cirrhosis, cirrhosis of the river. That's nasty.
right?
SS Collective. Yeah, that's very good. Oh,
Shoalfather. That's actually not a bad name.
oh, that's very good. Yeah.
Fish Whisperer.
Fish whisperer. That's a natural, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
I'm back, says Mary Valent.
Welcome back.
Death row. That's nuts. Fishy friends. Hey, Sidious. Sidious is one of our resident geniuses
Yeah, he is.
over on the shoal. He came up with a newsletter, a monthly newsletter, which now has 2 issues. The third one, I think, is already in the can. Just will be published the 1st of May. And we're moving right along with the book. I finally gotten involved. I put off getting involved for a long time because it didn't want to influence the process. So what I'm doing now is I'm writing little prefaces to each of the chapters in order to kind of give it my imprimatur and make it a more personal father fish kind of thing. And I should read. I did a piece. See if I can. I don't know if I can find it. This would be a cool thing to end with too. Let's see. It is. It is. Where can I get to it easily? I don't really know. Let's try something. We'll go into the manuscript. If it'll come up, there it is. I think around page 30 or so. Let's see. I need to increase the size of this so I can read it. Uh,
Oh, Dana Koch has a question, Father Fish. My plants are melting. Do I do nothing? I have deep substrate, but not your supplements.
um, where the leaves are melting, pull one of them out and see what the roots look like. If the roots are healthy, then you're okay. If the roots are black and rotten and smell, then you need to replant. You may need to add more sand. You may need to replant so that the roots or the stem or is not down in the dirt. In a brand new tank, that dirt for the first 6 months or so is literally chemically active. And it's got so much activity that it could burn the roots and does very often burn the roots. So you want to plant no more than 1 inch into the dirt. If you'll do that, you won't have that problem. Now, I don't know that that's the problem. So you need to check, pull one of the plants out and see what the roots look like. If the roots are healthy, then just leave it. It'll be fine. It's normal for leaves to break down. Having trouble finding what I'm looking for. It's a section on sand. And it just was kind of fun writing it. Oh, I think it's coming up. I might get it here. Line sand aquarium is okay.
Yeah.
Lighting. Here it is. Here it is. Let me read this to you. This is
All
kind of
right.
fun. This is a passage from the book. The earth is filled with sand. It is literally everywhere. Sand is rocks, sedimentary, igneous, and metamorphic. That have been pulverized into tiny fragments. We refer to sand as inert because it does not do anything. It just lays there with its jagged surfaces jostling with other grains, always loose, never compressed, creating an infinitesimal maze of corridors and passages leading nowhere and always changing. Its tiny surfaces are populated with all matter of tinier living creatures: bacteria, flora, fauna, even the ubiquitous and little understood archaea. Each inhabit the surfaces of sand, but they do not fill the spaces. The spaces. receive precipitating particles of debris from above. The waste, poo, dead plants, carcasses of sundry animalcules, each fall into the crevasses made by sand, and they are consumed as they fall, chewed into tinier and tinier particles until finally merging with the soil beneath to become a rich compost of nutrients for the roots burrowing deep into the foundations of the substrate. Their tendrils growing tiny cilia that engorge on elemental meals of minerals made palatable by bacteria and archaea that thrive in this abyss.
I can't wait for your book to come out.
So,
It is going to be an amazing read.
it's going to be great fun. Yeah,
Yeah, it is.
yeah. That was one of the first things that I wrote, um, and as one of my first real entrees into participating in the book, and I got really good feedback. I was very gratified, um, and with by virtue of that, we decided to do what I just suggested. I'll be writing a piece at the head of each chapter that will basically introduce the chapter, the basic concepts, and then it'll be filled beyond that with hard science,
I love
hard,
that.
dry, dull, hard science that clarifies precisely what's happening, that explains it, that identifies the processes. It's This is going to be a really remarkable piece of work, and I'm just so delighted and excited about it.
I think
It's
all of us here is excited about it.
Yeah, we're getting close. We're getting close.
GameStar has a question for you. Will there be
Sure.
signed copies available?
Oh, you bet.
Awesome.
Initially, we're going to do it probably as a PDF before we publish, before we print publish. But we'll be looking for print publisher as well.
And
One of
GameStar,
the suggestions I've made, and I don't know that we'll do it, it would be to create pamphlets out of each chapter and provide. It depends how this thing comes out and how long it takes to get it together. We think we're close, but we thought we were close before. Um, but doing the pamphlets would allow us to have a little booklet on deep substrate, another booklet on the food web, another booklet on plants, and one on fish, and so forth. So we'll see. The whole book will include all of that, but an audio book read by Father Fish.
that'd be
That
awesome.
would be interesting. We'll probably have AI write it, although I think we can create an AI that will sound like Father Fish. We're
That'd be
working on that along with some other stuff right now to try to use AI a little in some of the stuff we're doing. Should research mycelium and fungus that Weber cross it. Oh, it's in there. It's in there. We have sections on a fungus, the importance of, the nature of, and so forth. It's an amazing table of contents. There are 100 items in the table of contents. This is going to be a very extensive. I don't know that I'm going to write 100 introductions. It'll be half a dozen or so. The major chapters, not so much the minor ones, probably. But yes, once we get it published, there will be signed copies available. Book tour. Book tour. Well, I've thought about this before, and if things come together, what I ultimately would like to be able to do is make contact with some people in a given community, like a given city, and set up a day with Father Fish, like a Saturday, and just do an all day thing. Maybe you do an auction, or do a program, do an all day deep substrate Father Fish kind of invite. Very cheap, inexpensive. Just do it for a day. Make it something to be a lot of fun with food and fun and fellowship and a chance of meet and greet. I went into Super Cichlids yesterday. There was a group of people there waiting to vet. They knew I was coming. They were from a local club in the DC area, the DC Cichlid Club. They were waiting to meet me. Delightful people, just wonderful people. Invited me to come speak to their club. They're going to try to get that set up. So that'll be great fun.
Will you be doing a live stream while you're there, Father Fish?
I absolutely will. Yeah,
Awesome.
wanting to do that all the time. Whenever I go out to do a program, to do a live stream, we did that in the Delaware County Club a couple of weeks ago. The natural habitat. That's very good, McKellar Spring. The natural habitat. I like it a lot.
Yeah, that is a good one.
Get you a wrench for that. Sticks and fans. An all day hootenanny, right? Yeah, and we need to get Games R to do music for it too. That would be super duper fun.
Yeah, it would.
Well, you know what's remarkable to me? Futuristic Purpose said Father Fish is famous. What's amazing to me and just so gratifying is running into people. While I was at Super Cichlids, I had people doing double takes. Are you? Are you? That was fun. And I have it occasionally. It'll happen on the street, not often because we as fish keepers are a tiny portion of the overall population.
Mhm.
But I do run into where I find it most is people calling the phone number, and I pick up and oh, is this Father Fish? I didn't expect you to answer the phone. That's always fun. And then I'm able to spend time chatting with them about their tank and what they're doing and so forth. Let's scope it out. Start using AI voice. I use 11 Labs, works pretty good. Such a good speaker. I have my doubts it'll be good enough to match you. That's very kind of you. Let's scope it out. By the way, if you have not seen Let's Scope It Out, um, his YouTube channel, please post your link. Um, he just got a new piece of equipment that he was experimenting with on a live stream recently, and it was remarkable. He had a test tube of live culture
Really
and
amazing.
had this microscope camera shooting it. It was just amazing, really amazing.
I'm posting the link now in the live chat where you guys can check it out because it really is amazing.
It's a remarkable channel.
Yeah, it is.
Absolutely. Glass box. There we go. Yeah, wonderful footage. Just wonderful footage.
And it's one of those relaxing channels. If you've had like a rough day, you can just sit there, watch it, and unwind.
Right. Charles wants to know if I'm good friends with Dustin. Yes, I am. Good to have him on your YouTube channel. I should do that. That's a really good idea.
Hmm.
By the way, next Saturday, Andy and Phillips is going to be on our Saturday live stream. We do an occasional Saturday live stream with as interviews with special people, and we're gonna have Phillips Fishworks. What's it called? Phillips. What's the name of the channel? I can never
I
remember.
think it's Phillips Works. I can't. I'm gonna now
Phillips
I'm gonna
Works.
look it
I
up.
think so. Somebody post it.
See. Oh,
Anyway,
I've got
that'll
him.
be. Pardon? You got it.
Yeah, I've got him. It's Phillips Fishworks.
Phillips Fishworks. That's what I thought. That'll be on. That'll be on this coming Saturday at probably 7:30, 7:30, 8 o'clock, along in there. He's got some new stuff. He's redone his shop. He is blowing it up with food web and live culture. In fact, he's got a green live culture
Mhm.
coming out. I just got an order from him. Everything was absolutely perfect. I was really delighted with it. Uh, so that's going to be a lot of fun. Oh, I want you to scope it out. I'm very, very excited. You're one of the people I'm really very supportive of and want to do all I can to help. There are not a lot like that, but there are some, and you're most certainly one. And we'll get you on the Saturday at some point too. That'll be fun. Um, the smallest channel on YouTube.
He's got an awesome channel though.
Yeah, with the biggest heart, right? Tony, yes, thank you. It's Tony at Phillips Socialworks. Thank you. An anti-shark boat, huh?
And Charles says he's got some good stuff for the food web. He has a lot of really nice products for food
Oh,
webs.
he absolutely does.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really the key. I stopped carrying that entire line of products because he does it so effectively. I can't begin to compete with that. In fact, my stuff is was compared to his was not worth buying, um, with the exception of the bag of leaves. And anybody can bag leaves, but he probably does a better job even with that. Daniel Ingalls, because of Father Finch, my two tanks are looking great. Almost gave up till I found this channel, deep substrate and a food web for the win. It takes care of itself. Bravo. Bravo. Tony Phillips at Phillips Fishworks. Absolutely.
Yeah, and it's like there's several things on Phillips Fishworks website that I've been looking at. I'm like, ooh, I need to get that for my 75-gallon.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. No, I don't think I'm going to grow my beard back, Dion. I think that was really a characterization. It was a character. It was a role, and I don't want. I'm keeping the name. I haven't decided to flip the name and to start using my real name, and I probably won't because Father Fish it it it, it it just fits too neatly. But the beard was a bit too much, and it detracted from being able to be a real person. It was much more a character, so the mustache I'll keep. It kind of has uh, its own character. Um, but no, I don't expect to grow the beard back. I shave once a week, and it grows out just enough for me to get the feeling, one more week and it'll look like something. Right now it looks scraggly, but another week I could start having, and then I shave it off. I did a beard for nearly 20 years. I did it every length, every way, every style, and I'm happy with what I'm doing now. I don't think I'll do a goatee either. I don't think I don't think I need to. I am going to get new teeth because I've noticed my teeth have receded. I have pictures smiling where my teeth show. They don't show anymore. My gums have receded. So I have plates. So I'm going to get new teeth if I decide to spend the money for them, which I probably will, because I'm pretty vain. actually, about such things. I'm also getting new glasses. I've been told. Now, I'm not getting a reflection at all now because they don't have a light in front of me. The light's coming down from above. So I get a little shadow in here that I would not have, but I kind of prefer it to. I could get closer. I can't get real close with this stand. Mm, oh well. I get my cameraman in here. He'll have his own ideas. Futuristic purpose, family fireworks fish. Fireworks, really? That's interesting. Futuristic purpose. Darboire, call me Lou. That's a boat name. Cute.
That is a cute one.
Time for a full back tattoo. You think? I don't have a tattoo. I don't have even one tattoo.
Wow, that is rare. That's
My
amazing.
name is Lou. Yes, Daniel. My name is Lou. Games are ah, a giant cross, Lazar says. We don't want to get into that. My fish aren't startled by the thunder. They're startled with lightning. That's interesting. I think all fish are somehow electric. Well, that we know they are because we know the lateral line in fish is sensitive to electric impulse. Um, so we know there's that all fish are sensitive to natural geo geothermal, I guess, electrical impulses. Simplified. Uh, we're not even going to grace that with a comment.
Yeah,
Chris, that's your Lou Foxwell, right?
we've had definitely a lot of good names for the boat tonight, though.
Yeah, there absolutely are.
Yeah, I'm curious what people come up with for Wednesday night show and tell. 'Cause there's even
Right.
more names then.
All right. We are beyond the witching hour here. I've got 8:01.
Same
What
here.
else is going on? Diamond chain and some grills. There you go. Uh, join the Father Fish Show on Discord. Do by all means. Be fun to have you over there. All right, so we're going to be back. We'll be back Wednesday. The song just published, so listen to the song. It's a lot of fun, and there's some nice old clips in it from videos way back.
That's gonna be
Um,
fun.
what else? Wednesday night show and tell. We will have a video out this week. Don't know what yet, but we'll have one. This Saturday, Tony with Phillips Fish Works be at 7:30. We'll try to get that out early enough for people to get notified. And then we'll be back here next Sunday. So love you all. Thank you, Dina, so
Thank
much.
you. Love you guys.
Bye for now.
Bye.